Alright, let's dive right in. I am Primus Rufus Hansius, the rogue trader of the Von Valancius line. I am also, I am ashamed to admit, an unrepentant heretic. I am a psyker, a pyromancer wizard, who only exists to bring evil and corruption into the world. Alongside me are my primary party members. I have the lovely navigator Cassia. She's kind of like a wizard herself, although her powers are really different than most. They're really intended to purge corruption more than they are to embody it. But, you know, we work with what we got. We have my buddy, the interrogator of the Inquisition, Heinrichs, here. He's built to smack people with his psychic force sword as hard as possible, and has a variety of defensive spells and buffs, and a little bit of healing to kind of support us in the front line. Next is my Seneschal Abelard here. He is a melee powerhouse. He's mobile, he's high damage, and he's high tanky. He just doesn't offer a lot to the party other than beating the tar out of whatever I put in front of him. For my final psyker, I have Idira here. She's kind of a funny one in that she's a utility wizard. She does a little bit of direct damage and a lot of debuffing. But she's also an unregistered psyker. She is not a, whatever they're called. She is not a, official psyker. What is the word? Sanctioned, that's the word. She's not a sanctioned psyker, she's an unsanctioned psyker. Which means her power level is a little bit higher than the par. The drawback is she's far more likely to have her head explode every single time she casts a spell. So that could get zany. I'm actually redoing this fight because 3/4 of the way through the fight, she did a little bit of a whoopsie while doing a very tiny little spell, and a horde of nigh unkillable demons poured out of the warp. Like it happens. That's why we have our friend Argenta here, sister of the Sisters of Battle. She has big guns. She shoots big guns. Everybody else regrets it. I think... yeah, that's what she's supposed to be dressed like. Here we are on the causeway of the world that I just liberated from heretical scum. Which you'd think is ironic, but, you know, you gotta crack a couple eggs to make an omelet. Until something goes a little bit strange in the victory celebration. Surrounded by evil, repelling emblems, the head cultist's corpse looks like a tiny island of gloom in the glorious ocean of your impending triumph. The governor's people must have put a lot of work into protecting the body from decay, as well as sawing off the grim iron face mask. The dead prophet has the weary, unremarkable face of an utterly nondescript commoner. The one aberration of her appearance is the many small mouths on her cheeks and forehead. They've been painstakingly sewn shut with a thick thread and plastered over with a layer of face powder. The cosmetics transform the heretic's face into an eerie mask. The corner of her mouth is frozen in a hint of a grin, wryly mirrored by her lesser mouths. "Are you pleased, enemy mine?" the grin seems to ask. "I wish I could learn your secrets, Aurora. You died too soon and never revealed them to me." Not a sound comes in response, but as soon as you blink, the corner of the corpse's mouth seems to move upward by a hair's breadth. Or is it just your imagination? Aha, I don't have desktop audio. There we go. So, I guess I hop in the Lehman Russ. and start the celebration, because honestly, what can go wrong? It's not like all of my pet prophets and wizards have had splitting headaches since this morning. You know, frankly, I find it that when all of my pet prophets, like, start to rave incoherently, it's probably a sign that we should ignore them, because they're just kind of distracting. I invited the common folk to come enjoy the celebration, so here they are rushing towards me and showering me in adoration. The crowd over here, the master of ceremonies, and some of my rogue trader house enforcers and soldiers positioned around the tank here. The grateful citizens wish to present gifts to their redeemer. The master of ceremonies' sugary voice almost brings a taste of honey to your mouth. For whatever reason, you know for certain that right at this moment, the gaze of Aurora's dead, empty eye sockets is fixed upon the back of your head. A thought surfaces in your mind, not a voice inside your head, no, a mere thought. They're all going to die, befuddled, deprived, never having seen the truth. And it is all because of you, enemy mine. I turn and look at Aurora's corpse, but nothing. Nothing strange. The crowd's salutatory clamor, the prophet's motionless corpse. Only the air is oddly still, as before a thunderstorm. What? What? They're coming out of the darkness! They're stealing the light! The darkness is insatiable! And behind them, behind these thieves, an ineffable eye follows, watching! Ah! I'm sensing something. Boundless, blue, golden, dark. A grimace contorts Heinrich's face. The interrogator lifts a hand to his temple as though struck by a sudden migraine. What? Yeah, pretty sure that's a cultist ghost there. Behold, behold the final dawn. Yeah, they're the cultists. I, for one, can't believe that celebrating the extermination of a planet-wide unstoppable cult invited the planet-wide non-unstoppable cult, blah, blah, blah. We have a little bit of a loading screen mid-cutscene. And something strange is happening in my flagship in orbit around the planet Rykad Minoris. See, it's all fun and games down on the surface, but everybody stares into the nearest sun. Just as it seems to disappear out of the night sky.
Your existence is naught but ashes.
So, here I am dropped into the middle of this absolute wreck. The good news is, a couple of those enforcers that were with me, keeping the crowds controlled, are here, and they'll give me a little bit of fire support in the fight. The medium news is, there are some utter civilians, including this elderly citizen, with no weapon. And more importantly and hilariously, this guy right here is a random old guy with a freaking bolt pistol. And I love that. I love that that random old guy is carrying around a weapon that'll break your wrist if you shoot it. So, the situation is, the Lehman Russ tank has been kablooied. The entire upper causeway here is covered in clouds of purple, don't step in it. And our buddy, the leader of cultists here, has deployed an array of really obnoxious enemies. There's acolyte cultists, fire-starting cultists, and these anointed guys. We're going to kind of dig in on this side of the map because there's some good cover around, and I can control the way that spawns flow in at me. I also think most of the enemies are going to come in from kind of this area, from what I remember. So I'll be planning around that in mind. First off, we gotta stick Cassia here really far away from everybody else with a good field of fire, because her weapon is not a gun. Her weapon is opening a door to the roiling energies of the warp. Kind of similar, we're going to put Argenta with a clear line of fire so that she can really open up with her gun in burst mode. And next are my melees. I'm going to plug this breach here because there are going to be dudes flooding up these stairs. I want Heinrichs because he needs to be in the center of the party to provide buffs and support. So he's going to kind of be here. Abelard, because he's going to need to charge into the thick of the battle, is going to start right here and carry his momentum across to support Cassia. And then our two longer range characters are damaging wizards and snipers. Let's put them both on this pole here. They're not going to stay there forever, but we just want them in the center of our formation, sheltered and with as much range as possible to anything scary. I believe that's our forces committed. Our weakest flank is going to be over here with Argenta. But hopefully the enforcers and some support from our wizards can clear that for her. But I mean, this is kind of overwhelming odds. There's already some 18 enemies on the field. And though most of them are quite squishy, they do have some nasty tricks up their sleeve. We got great initiative rolls, it looks like. 4 of my party members go before a single enemy, which means we can open up by seeing the absolute frickin' glory that is Cassia here.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered
We
around.
warp curse the leader of cultists, and then we open an eye to the void. Let's see if I can get in a good arc. Perfect. Everything in this big-ass triangle is going to be absolutely ruined with damage, and hopefully, if they fail a willpower check, stunned.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Cassia opens her eye to the warp, unleashing this huge cone of purple energy that washes over the leader of cultists and his chosen retainers. It looks like 2 of the fire starters and 1 of the acolytes were successfully stunned. But the leader of cultists did succeed in the willpower check. That's it for Cassia's turn as she clusters up here near the tank. Next is our sniper Adira. It looks like something about the chaos rippling through the warp has disabled Adira's powers. She, being a diviner, was hit particularly hard by whatever happened to the sun. So she seems to have her magic disabled for 2 turns. That's not the biggest deal. That's why we have her with a long-last sniper rifle. We really need to pick out these anointed cultists that are close onto the party. And there's a lot of them. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, Adira. Well, her headache must be worse than it fucking looks because she rolled a 99 on a 95% hit chance with her dead eye shot sniper rifle and missed. Absolutely incredible. She's going to use the rest of her turn calling out some spotting on the leader of tactics so it'll be easier to hit them.
Emperor, protect me.
The elderly citizen bravely charges into the path of the enemy flamethrowers. We love that. It's now Adira's turn, or Argenta. It's now Argenta's turn, and she's going to be ridiculously exposed if she takes that shot. But there's so many of them lined up. And I just, you know, is it wise on max difficulty to stand out in the open and just... Oh my god, but look at that. Look at that line of fire.
I'll do it.
Oh, man. Oh, the humanity. Wow. So much of the log. It's taking a while to scroll up to see what just happened. We fired 8 shots. 7 of them hit, and only 1 of them completely missed. Several of them completely over-penetrated. Yeah, like 5 of them over-penetrated, and 1 actually did multiple collateral hits. Just bolter chaos right there. Oh, they added an indicator of which shot it was. So the 5th shot, the 6th shot. That's really cool. Here's what matters. With that 1 burst of bolter fire, we got Anointed Cultist kill number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That's 4 dead cultists on the floor, and all of them were the kind of tanky ones with auto guns. Beautiful work. She's gonna go. She is left over with 1 action point, so she can go ahead and use her soldier perks to make a dash for nearby cover. And she does get a free bullet off of that. Can I use that to clean up this last guy who was wounded? I was hoping for another anointed cultist. Oh, there were anointed cultists. They weren't the gunners, they were the exploders. That's probably better, honestly. Yeah, and oh, she is chanting prayers hard after that burst of the Emperor's will. Now it's on to my wizard's turn, my main character. I'm kind of focused on doing single target burny damage to tanky enemies, but I also do have some chain lightning if I can line up. Oh, this is nice. I have a guaranteed double kill on these exploders. I think that's how we open up this turn, because they're going to be taking their turns pretty soonish.
Ruin beckons.
Chain lightning. Absolutely French fries those 2 exploding cultists. Now, the problem is, in such a psychoactive environment, the veil is already going to be thin, and I am not doing anything to stop that. You'll see soon enough, but with so many wizards on my party, it's more like a when, not a if, on whether or not like the walls are going to start crying blood, and you know, all that various fun stuff that comes with being a heretical sorcerer. Let's see. I have a clear shot at this fire-starting cultist, and they have a turn coming up pretty soon. No, I really need to shoot this guy here, because he's going to be obnoxious in short order. Oh, cool. Good stuff, Adira. No, hold on. Can I see the... It's not going to show me the chances, but... That's lovely. She had a 76% chance to hit, and she shot the cover the dude was hiding behind. That's awesome. So my main character, being an officer, gives Adira the order to take a shot, and she misses again. Excellent. Now's my guy Heinrich, so we can start getting our buffs going on the party. First Word of the Emperor increases everybody's resolve. Then we're going to give Abelard a little bit of special sauce. And, okay, I'm going to swing with a Psychic Sword Strike at this cultist, and I really hope that this doesn't cause a reality quake that does 20 damage to everybody in this area.
Nothing stands against me.
Very nice. It landed with no complications.
I can handle this.
Did a lot of damage and a critical hit, too. Heinrich flourishes his Force Sword, cutting cleanly through the cultist, but not through the veil between worlds. Always a good thing. Now it's Abelard's turn, the other half of my melee, component? Cavalcade? I'm blanking on the word. I get in position to brawl with this cultist. I think I'm going to Sworn Enemy him for a little extra damage. And just give him a good old smack on the head with this war pick. Finally, I think Abelard can actually land a charge off. Does not kill, but that's 2 solid hits that take these 2 cultists down to nearly no health. It's the end of the first round, and we kind of slaughtered most of the enemies that would have had anything to do with us in that first part of the round. A lot of early kills on everybody close by, and we didn't fully clear the near space, but we're in a good tactical situation. It's now the Enforcer's turn. They spread out and pop off some las fire. They do manage to kill a cultist through coordinated fire, so I guess that's why I pay them. One of them runs straight through the cloud of purple, thinking, it's just purple. What can purple do to me? I like the color purple. And unfortunately, he busts out into bleeding welts. Fanatical old man. Wow. Pulls a grenade out of his pocket, misses the throw and fat fingers it, but still kills the cultist without doing any friendly fire. Okay, round 2 has now begun, and a second frickin' wave of enemies has showed up. Lovely. Yeah, 3 dudes up the main way, 3 dudes up that far stairway, and a fresh 2 coming up the close stairs. It's now back to Cassia's turn. Now, what these cultists I don't think sufficiently appreciate is the fact that they are flooding directly down, that big cone of fuck you.
As duty demands.
Unfortunately, the elderly citizen is cast forever into the roiling tides of the hellish ocean. That is the elderly citizen's problem, and not mine. Cassia's hit was so enormous that my party is now rallying, and I've maxed out my momentum meter. I have a couple ways I could use this heroic act, but I think a really decent one is having Cassia order the Seneschal to go apeshit on these guys. So first, let's buff him. Second, let's give him a full extra turn where he's loaded up with extra buffs and his abilities cost less AP and he can chain attacks. He's going to run over here. I can't get a good AoE off to clear both of these guys in one hit. But what I can do is just start hitting them. I can use one more AP to box this guy to death. And then what we're going to do is we're out of motion points, but I can land a charge on this guy. Oh! Well, yeah, Cassia yells, "We've got them on the run. I just chain stun them all. Abelard, go for their leader." And Abelard just massacres them on the way over. He then misses taunting. Yeah, he taunts in the wrong direction and fails to taunt the Acolyte cultist. And stacks up a couple buffs for his effort. Now that it's back to Cassia's turn, she says, "Oh, by the way, Abelard, get rid of one of them. Yeah, do a little bit more. You have not done enough." Thank you, Abelard. And now we can pull Cassia back into full cover behind the tank, now that that entire way is cleared and she doesn't need quite so clear a field of fire. She also has a lot of movement points extra left over to use. Now back onto Adira's turn. She really needs to give a little bit of fire support to Argenta, and she has one more round without her psychic powers. Her melee does nothing. This dude's now behind full cover, so that's going to be a bit of a sucky shot. Wow. Adira is really kind of sad sacking this fight. Nice. I can take cover behind the tank without crossing into the purple. And this should be an easy guaranteed shot to just clean up that cultist with 8 health. Nice. We've been clearing them so fast and efficiently that we haven't even really seen what the cultists do. You'll see some of them will end their turns kneeling. Most of the cultists have this feature called Dark Prayer that says at the end of every turn they may start praying, and at the start of their next turn, not only does the veil get thinner, but there's a good chance some nightmare bullshit will happen. It's an absolute roll of the dice, as a lot of chaos is. So sometimes their prayers won't be answered, and sometimes they'll spontaneously turn into an extra mini-boss, just to make my life harder. Alright, Argenta's gonna start by gassing herself up. And they're kind of far away, and these shots aren't super likely to hit. Wow, 5 shots, 5 misses. Oh, she ran out of ammo in the clip. First reload of the battle for Argenta. There are 3 types of cultists in this fight. The fire-starting cultists are armed with hand flamers, so their function is to get up close and then flush us out of cover. There's a good chance that even if we don't get hit by the flames of one of these cone attacks with the flamer, it'll force us to dodge and like roll out of cover, which will free us up for the Acolyte cultists. These Acolyte cultists have just basic auto guns, so they're going to be the focused fire that does the actual killing on us. Finally, the Anointed cultists. They're a lot squishier, and they only have access to a knife, but they tend to run up to us and freaking explode. It looks like the action isn't listed on them for some reason. I also don't know why that guy uses knife, but typically they'll run up to you and they'll do like a kamikaze explosion. So it's kind of a balanced enemy force. They have melees, they have mid-range, and they have long-range like crossfires set up, and I have to really carefully manage how they're coming at us in order to not get overwhelmed. Fortunately, as you've seen, I did not get overwhelmed. I just kind of handled it. That cultist burns to death on the spot. Don't spontaneously combust next time, buddy. That's my advice to you. I have a lot of actions left to give Heinrich's orders with. So Heinrich's, why don't you be a deer? And nobody's hurt. Holy crap. Yeah, just get in there and do an extra little hit for me, yeah? Heinrich says, okay, I'll crit them, boss. And an enforcer actually secures the kill. You know what? I respect that.
Everyone, step aside.
I'm just glad, like, yeah,
I won't object.
too often the enforcers do absolutely nothing. I'm just glad they're doing something, you know? In a feat of further, like, streamer tier luck, Heinrichs gets another swing off with his psychic sword, and it does not cause demons to pour out of his head. I love that.
Emperor, protect me.
I love that!
One fewer target.
Yeah, it turns out the fight goes a lot easier when you don't spawn any spontaneous extra waves and or bosses. Abelard gets in there, continues his just... Oh wow, incredible. The cultist fires a burst at Abelard, and half his shots hit cover, and the other half hit the Acolyte's own friend.
Protect me.
That is some classic Chaos Cultist nonsense. The enforcers kind of get lit up by one of those cultists. Okay. Alright. Don't know why he didn't explode.
Quick, quick.
Takes a single bolt shot. Hits the wall. Fire-starting cultists decide he actually doesn't want to shoot at Abelard. Acolyte cultists... Dark Prayer... And I think it triggered... Oh. Huh. It triggered Phenomena of the Warp, but all that happened was the veil actually grew a little thicker. You know, it's kind of disappointing. Like, maybe I was hoping to spawn some demons, you know?
I am a navigator. Another foe painted black.
Cassia continues to just chew through waves of cultists.
I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
And Abelard gives them no mercy.
Indeed.
Finally! Adira, her brain is unlocked, and she's no longer completely useless. Okay. Let's get a psychic spot on this guy, so that's a guaranteed critical hit. That counts as an offensive power. Well, kudos to whoever is about to enjoy their crit. And let's get some defensive buffs on some of my party members. Spreading around a little bit of the psychic love.
Not this Scryer's job.
Okay, the next person to take a pot shot at this Acolyte cultist should absolutely murk him. That is unfortunately a big should. Let's... I mean, it's the end of the fight. Time for Argenta to do her own heroic act.
I'll do it.
Single shot. Boom. Single shot. Boom. Runs over to some cover. I think she's going to take fire damage. That looks like it's on fire. Well, you know, what's a little fire damage between friends? I think this is best a burst. A burst of fire removes another cultist from the picture. Let's run over here. Pop run and gun. So she gets more move speed and can get into a good firing position. And open up with another burst. That's a good angle. More crits. Kills another cultist. I have a couple more single shots left. Pew. Pew. That's finally it for her turn. I don't know how many shots that was. Was that 12 shots? Not bad. If you're opening up with 12 bolter shots in 6 seconds as an unaugmented human not wearing power armor, you scare me. That's also nerfed Argenta. That's after they made a Arch-Militant not the most broken class in the game.
Guides me.
Truly frightening.
Isn't this a job for the Sir? Try to die with grace, at least.
Okay, that was insane. That was an insane run. That should not have gone that easy. Holy crap. Your comm beat comes alive. The Voxmaster's voice struggles to get through the thundering static. Oh crap. This is... Big Dis, the hell is going on? An otherworldly cacophony, which until now resembled the rumbling of distant cannons, suddenly swallows you with its full intensity. The warp energies, seemingly bursting out of thin air, rushing inside your exposed mind like an unstoppable wave of filth. For a moment it feels like your head might explode. But then the sensation retreats, leaving in its wake a different one, that of someone's touch on your temples. My pet inquisitor, who's all about purging evil, says, don't give in to the force trying to take a hold of you. That's a bad idea. Huh.
You told me my faith was false. You made me turn away from Aurora. Now what do you say, rogue trader? Who was right? Here it is, the final dawn.
Hold your tongue, Arld. Dawn or no dawn, I'll die before I let those eyeless freaks maim me. So keep quiet and do as his lordship says. The whole city's quaking, declares Cassia. No, the whole world. Unfortunately, the star has freaking disappeared. Every warp-active person on this planet is sensing the presence of sorcery. It's rising like a tsunami. I've hardly ever encountered anything like it in real space. And most remarkably, the sorcery is still growing. I saw blurry shadows reaching for a ball of bright fire and pulling it away, and another shadow, much larger and more terrifying, that followed them. It opened its colossal eye when the others were gone with their loot. I saw no connections, no complicity. It was like a loop catching on a hook. A small terror made another greater one crawl out of its lair and act. That's the best I can explain it. Yeah, this planet is fucked, by the way. Well, good luck, guys. Don't get a little too heretical now that the sun's gone and the planet's fallen into warp chaos. Oh, you want to evacuate, huh? Damn, that's crazy. Anyways, good luck, my minions.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
First things first. Is it rescue the civilians? Is it get a grip on the situation? No, it's loot the corpses. There, that's what I was looking for, the leader. This guy surely has to have a little something. Nope, just a shotgun. Well, I didn't have enough shotguns, so I guess it's useful. What are you guys up to? Dude, I went through that fight with no damage. I didn't take any wounds. Like, I really cannot express just how insane that is. It is worth pointing out that I am on maximum difficulty. Well, I'm not. Okay, I'm on the highest difficulty, not maximum difficulty. You can see here, These are the set difficulties. I have it on unfair. These are the individual parameters. And, like, yeah, I guess I could give the enemies more dodge if I really wanted to. In the grim darkness. Aw. I'm good. Not down for the Iron Man gameplay. This game is like a year and a half, 2 years old now. And I'm not gonna lie, my day one playthrough was a lot buggier than this. And yet I've still seen constant novel bugs and random stuff pop up. This is a great game, but I would never play Iron Man. Well, I give it 5 years. Okay, the ghost of the arch-cultist is raving.
Tread a path
Like, I get it. I'm a heretic, too. Like, I do some ravings sometimes, you know? I've been there. I've done that.
My little voices have quietened down. They're lying low, whispering somewhere in the distance, like a draft sighing through the smallest crack. I suppose I should see it as a bad sign, but it's so nice to hear myself think again.
Knowing you, Mistress Trass, and being unwillingly acquainted with your voices, I would remain on my guard. Struggles are in vain.
Oh, yep, okay. Yeah, that cultist just turned into a chaos spawn. Cool. Let's see what we got. Like 13 of them spread out. Oh. Aha. Yeah, this is okay. Getting a little bit of a... Now we're getting some proper heretic cultist action. This doesn't feel like fighting rabble. This feels like fighting some forces of evil. Okay. Can I? Yes, I can. Argenta there. I think Cassia is going to need to hold that stairwell. No, Cassia needs... Yeah, it's going to be better... No, fuck. Cassia and Argenta are going to do their best on the stairwell, but I bet we're going to have to flip. We're going to have to reverse. The melees are going to need to handle those two chaos spawns. But we got to deal with the immediate problem. This is bad terrain to pull back in. I'd rather get settled into this area. But... Oh, 7 hells do I wish there was a little more cover. Argenta's first. That's not bad. But she really needs to open up on that chaos spawn. It has high armor. And... no, she doesn't actually have that good of armor pen. 25 with her bolter mastery. And its armor will go down as we deal damage to the chaos spawns. See, it's based on its total life total. But makes it all the more difficult to actually do damage to it before we've lit it up. Is she even going to get a good shot from there? Yeah, she is. Has to be on this side. Okay. Yeah, we have to start harrying those two chaos spawns over here. By the time that they crash into us at full power, that's going to be a nightmare. Okay. Not bad. Not bad effect. Let's see. 5 hits. Knocked 40 life off it. Didn't do much to drop its armor, though. We haven't pushed past that first threshold. We did not get so nice on the initiative this time. One of the cultists charges up with a flamer and gets a hit on Abelard. Another one of them stabs him with a knife. I can't believe you didn't parry that, dude. We're gonna blame the fire, okay? And not blame you personally. I actually think we do have a good angle with the way that they position for Cassia. So let's be conservative with the movement at first and not go all the way in. Yeah, but then it's going to be hard to catch that guy without hitting Abelard. Let's step forward.
Always drowned in scarlet.
Still can't hit that guy. I could probably reach those guys in the back, but it means stepping into the way of the Chaos Spawn. Fortunately, I think Cassia is unironically the tankiest person in my party. So
Another foe painted black.
I did that in the wrong order. It's okay. You know who should be opening up? It should be Abelard. Increases armor penetration. Nice. Piercing strike. 10% armor pen, all attacks, 1 round stacks. That's cool. We'll save that brace for impact. Alright. Cassia, now in position, gives Abelard the order to drop the dude's armor. One of the cultists fires a burst up at Argenta, but she's in such good cover up there overseeing the stairwell onto the lower plaza that Argenta is completely fine. Nothing scratches her. I get a unique opportunity here. They lit Abelard on fire, and I'm a pyromancer, so I'm going to use that fire to our advantage. I've never used this ability before. Let's see what happens. Oh, it has to be on this one, and it's going to hit all my allies. For real? Everyone adjacent to the target. And by adjacent, it means a 12-cell radius. Or a 3-cell radius. It's a 3-cell circle. The 12 cells is the max range. But that's going to absolutely kablooeyify all of my own allies. So we're not going to do that. We are going to light the chaos. Wait, can I get a good lightning? No, that still does friendly fire. Damn. I just need to get fire on the chaos spawn. And if I move into position, I can give somebody an order to shoot. Another burst from Argenta, or I can get a good hit from Abelard on the Chaos Spawn. No, he's already done his turn. It would have to be Cassia. Oh shit, yeah. My officer gives the other officer an order to take an extra turn after she gave somebody an extra turn. Oh, beautiful work. That's another 2 dead cultists. And it looks like the Chaos Spawn finally failed a test and is now stunned. Let's see. Yeah, Chaos Spawn. Willpower resistance test failed. Stunning the Chaos Spawn, who's melee to 3 of our people, is huge. That's beyond huge. That was an amazing turn out of my main character. I guess Rufus is his name by Roman naming convention. I could call him Rufus. So, there's another leader of cultists down there. But, for the most part, it looks like the cultists on the lower deck just run towards the stairwell. We still have plenty of time before the Chaos Spawns start crashing into our flank. We're clustered up together enough. We get some nice buff capacity out of Heinrichs. Let's give everybody as much tankiness as we can with the turn. I'm not gonna lie, fam. I'm really afraid of opening up with this Psychic Slash. If this triggers a Warp Quake with everybody in close capacity, that could be a fight ender. As much as I like all damage at all costs, like, for real, like, I have to chicken out here. I can't believe I'm managing risk instead of going balls to the wall. That's insane. Who even am I? Does anybody need healing? No. Everybody's at literally full health. Let's give this buff to Abelard. Perfect. No warp phenomena. And bring me closer, that I may hit them with my sword. Yeah, Heinrichs faces this flaming, frothing abomination from hell and hits it with a sword. Beautiful. I feel like Adira kind of needs to be in, like, a buffing pattern. It's probably the wisest way to go about things. Dodge and parry. I think we're going to need Argenta to not get shot at. Okay. Little bit of warp fuckery, but not a big deal. Let's pile more buffs onto Intelligence, Perception, Fellowship, Willpower. It's really best on Abelard. Let's just keep layering those buffs. Nothing bad happens. Cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, fam. I think I'm gonna use the sniper rifle instead of any warp magic. This guy, yeah, this guy needs to die right now. None of that. Do not finish that prayer. No line of sight down below. Really, you're telling me you can't see anything over that perfect? Okay, whatever. Oh, there's a cultist over there. Yeah, we'll mark the call out on that one for a little bit of extra damage when we finally get to hitting him. I think this is a decent chance from Abelard. Now that we've dropped his armor down to almost nothing. Yeah, he's lost enough health and he's had enough armor-piercing stacks that I don't need to be hammering the piercing strike. What I'll do is I'll try an AoE sweep here to try to kill the knife cultist. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Sworn enemy. Can I taunt him? When's his turn next? After my whole party's turn, and he's still stunned? Where? Oh, right here. No, before, but he is still stunned. So I don't need to taunt him. Well, I'll just tank up and pass, I guess. Here's where it's starting to get a little bit sketchy. Let's see how many move points these guys have. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, geez. It's not the worst odds. 96, actually. That's a really good shot. Gotta reload. Rykad mag dump with the bolt pistol. 8 to 12, 7 to 12. It's less bullets, way less chance to hit. Never mind. Can't do that. Oh, the chance to hit's lower because of the recoil. Well, let's do our free reload. We get one free reload, the first reload of every fight. And let's see what kind of hits we get. Wow. Okay. More really solid armor-piercing damage coming out of that bolter on Argenta.
As the Emperor commands,
We're getting
I
close
act.
to enough momentum for a heroic act. But otherwise, I think she just sits there and holds. Cassia has done enough. We have line of sight in anybody? No. Too far, no line of sight. But we can give more shots and high quality shots too to Argenta. Wow, the crits. Wow, why did I do so much more damage? Oh, we dropped his armor past the threshold, I bet. Look at that. Total chance to hit. Really high. Minimum value. Basically, he couldn't dodge it. Yeah, it was just a guaranteed hit because he's big. I get it. She didn't miss, and he's a really big target who can't get out of the way, so it just guaranteed hit him. Base 7 to 12. Slap a bunch of damage on. And its armor's starting to drop down. Piercing strike, bolt weapon expert. Okay. Good hit. Solid hit. Can, I don't know, shoot it. Wow. Today, Cassia shot something with a bullet and hit. What was that? Oh, he made a single shot and missed? It looks like it didn't even roll. It must have hit the cover or something. Yeah, I love how that just didn't do anything. Cool, cool. None of these spots can see anything. I mean, I think I just stand here. It's a real convenient spot and continue burning the chaos spawn down. $10 to 16 versus 19 to 32. Yeah. 20 to 34 with the buff from my staff. Let's save the toxin shot from my ring for when those two get close. Alright, who wants an extra turn? Volunteer. Abelard! You look like a guy who wants to hit something. Oh my. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we get a 100% chance to hit, but he rolled a 25, so we love that. Big bad guy. Oh, because his perception is so ridiculously low. That's what's going on. That's why they're not... Perception? He must have had a bunch of debuffs on him. So yeah, they have no chance to dodge because I've reduced their chance to dodge below anything realistic. Attacker's weapon skill, minus 54. We love that. And yeah, he has a big-ass chance to crit, and he just kind of critted. Got a really high roll on his base damage, had a sworn enemy already applied, and the thing's armor was shredded down to nothing. Well, alright. Now it's time for the brace for impact, because we need to reposition everybody to meet the oncoming charge. So, Psyker in the center. Cassia stands in the middle so she doesn't cleave anybody. Actually,
Get me a
let's
target.
stand here. Adira takes cover with an overlook so she can line up debuffs. Argenta. Yeah, they're gonna move before she gets a chance. So let's reposition to here into the good cover. She, being a soldier, gets a little bit of extra buffs when she's in good cover. And it's back to Abelard's turn after he called for the reposition. He's fine. Oh, so Rufus gave an order to Abelard, who gave an extra movement turn to everybody. So now it's back to the root turn for Rufus. Okay, here's where it gets scary. Now the Chaos Spawn are coming in. And while one of them I managed to do some good rending damage to, the other is completely unharmed. I cannot delay. Don't work that way. Okay. I can spend this turn hanging out up here and buffing us. Buff. Tanky. What is this? Toughness and strength. So it's really only for himself. Heroic Act. Let's save the momentum. We're right on the threshold of a Heroic Act. So if we don't use it and one of them shoots us, we could lose that little bit of morale and be back under the threshold. But there's, like, I just don't want to get in the way of the salvo we're about to unleash down these stairs before the time is right. Yeah, let's just stand right there. Okay. Until the end of combat. Hey, you know what? The next attack against every enemy in combat will be an automatic critical hit. Or... Dude, that's really good.
That is not my
No way. What? What? How can you don't have a line of sight down the stairwells that you're at the top of? God damn it, Adira.
I know what is to come.
What is this bit of cover for then? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so huge. Oh, that's so insanely huge. Okay. Then let's blind him. That's my warp power. For the turn... Oh, I actually can still use a warp power after that. That's considered a buff and not a primary power. Let's see. No way! He failed the will check? This guy. Oh, shit. We really ruined his attacks, yeah. Yeah, it's a Chaos Spawn, not a big brain. It was apparently very easy to cloud his vision. Who's next? Abelard. What's this guy's dodge parry armor? Until the start of the operative's next turn. This one still has a lot of dodge. Let's remove his dodge.
Anything is.
That's really lower than I was hoping for. Cool. One action left. Consign is no AP.
Will do.
Slap an extra debuff on the big guy. Fuck it. You know, as long as it doesn't cause, like, everybody's heads to explode. Hell, I'll take, as long as it doesn't cause most of our heads to explode. And then more tanky to Cassia, because she, holy crap, she has 95% dodge. And armor, and regens, and Cassia's just so incredible. He's stupendous as a tank. What the hell? So I'm really cognizant of the fact that this cultist is just kind of like hanging out in our back line. But I can't really do anything about it, you know? So it's like, whatever. No, he can't get in position to do what I want him to do.
I will do my duty.
And we just chill here. Shit. Oh, heyo! All right. Cool. Yeah, that's another mini boss. I was worried that this combat would be dull, like the last one. Not bad. 8 shots, 1 missed, because of course. Okay. I gotta tab up the total damage here. That is a lot of damage in one burst, and I gotta kind of figure out what the par is. 7 plus 10 plus 4 plus 13 plus 5 plus 14 plus 5 plus 12 plus 4 plus 14 plus 5 plus 13 plus 5. That was 111 damage on 2 targets. Wow. Argenta's a funny character because bolters sometimes feel like they have very little practical damage in the early game. Their best strengths are doing high impact damage and having high armor penetration. But auto guns have a lot more rate of fire, and las guns are a lot more accurate. And it usually feels like, especially with the unique perks for las guns, that it really offsets the slightly lower base damage on a las gun for the much more impressive overall total. But honestly, 111 in that burst right there, that really speaks a lot for Argenta. Because with a big-ass, awesome lidless stare from Cassia, who's probably the strongest character in the game single-handedly, that's only 50 damage on the same 2 targets. Do you want a stat buff? There you go, Minoris. See, it's crazy. I decide to record a couple combats, and I run through it super duper clean, and literally nobody takes damage because I'm actually like trying to win on camera. Or my normal modus operandi is everybody walks out of the combat with 4 permanent wounds. I wanna get that guy. What? What happened? Oh shit, son! Okay. Here we go. Dodge. Beautiful. We're gonna have to... Okay, his warp parries fail. Thank the Emperor! Oh, that's nasty. Okay. We gotta go back for a moment. Okay, hold on. So, Rufus used his chain lightning. Here. Rufus used his chain lightning. And the good news is, it dealt great damage and landed on both of them. Lightning Arc deals 28 damage to each of those 2. It even got a little bit of extra rider damage from my various warp powers. Here's the problem. Perils of the Warp demonic attention. I summoned a Plague Bearer. This enemy is... he's considered a rank 3, not a rank 4. But I'm not going to lie, fam. I think I'm a lot more afraid of this warp manifestation because this is a real demon. Chaos spawns, they're nasty, but they're not demons with a capital D. This Plague Bearer is a real fucking demon that popped out of a hole in my head and left me in tiny pieces on the floor. What this means is, simply by being around us, it absolutely ruined our morale and our momentum. At the start of the demon's turns, all creatures around it must pass a willpower resistance or suffer the horrors of the warp effect. He's also immune to perils of the warp, immune to toxic damage, gains a whole lot of extra armor, and has some extra Nurgle-themed powers. His melee strike is also fucking monstrous. So he has some really solid armor and a lot of dodge, actually. Okay, alright. Okay, alright! I think it's unironically time for a desperate measure. Let's position this guy right here. Does anybody need healing? Probably Cassia. Immediately restores all AP. Hate to say it, but I think normal attacks are the way to go. We can't afford another warp phenomenon. Tank up on everyone. Yeah, let's heal Cassia, please. Okay, we had a little bit of warp phenomenon. But yeah, it fucked up our morale even further. But lucky or unlucky enough, we've completely thrown the towel into morale at this point, and we're just popping a desperate measure. So the morale system in this game works two ways. First off, you have a base resolve stat, and every time you do something that earns you morale in some way, it multiplies it by your resolve stat. So whenever you kill an enemy or at the beginning of a turn, you get your resolve in momentum. When momentum is over a certain threshold, you unlock these ultimate moves called heroic acts. They're usually not just powerful on the spot, but they oftentimes will make you more powerful for the rest of combat. If morale drops below a certain level, though, by enemies attacking your mines or by having members of your party die, in this case, the sheer existence of a demon is enough to ruin our entire momentum, we gain access to these desperate acts. Desperate acts are nearly as powerful as a heroic act on the spot, but typically doing it will permanently debuff you. Starting from the next round and until the end of combat, you lose access to charge, and you ruin your own movement points. So, I dropped that right here and now because Heinrichs needs to hold the line. And all I care about is clearing these two. Which Heinrichs is quite equipped to do. Just plant your feet. You don't need that movement. Okay. There's a third chaos spawn. There's a third chaos spawn. Oh. Well, if I don't want to use any warp powers... Oh, I fucked that up. Whatever.
Anything else?
Cool. It failed the willpower test. Wait, what? Oh, over. Yeah, it rolled a 27. And it's... Okay. Wow, that goes a long way. Because it gets minus 40 to ballistic skill and weapon skill. And a minus 30% penalty to dodge And... no, it's only 30. It is 40. Look at that. So it's dropped down to its base value, because that's a lot of debuffs. And its weapon skill and ballistic skill are fully nothing. I love that. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am so afraid of using any warp powers. Oh, that ripped past his dodge limit. Cool. And then this fucker. Nice. Cool. Hey! That grenade he threw is actually really nasty. That did some damage that I did not want to take. Yeah, it fucked up Cassia's perception and willpower with the head trauma. I cannot have her head spinning like that, because I don't think this is the boss fight. I'm pretty sure this is just a trash fight. He has no armor. I can just send it. Do I really need him? The Plague Bearer is mostly handled. If we hit a brace for impact... okay. Adira can run all the way down. Heinrichs doesn't move. Cassia... I really hope this doesn't hit her. She should dodge it. Fuck! Bruh. Okay, she didn't take another trauma, so that's good. We're not gonna... yeah. Well, I think she has immunity to attacks of opportunity or something. Honestly, I don't know at this point. I'm just vibing with it.
It will be done.
Plague Bearer does not get taunted. That's fine. Okay, Argenta. You do not have enough bullets in your magazine for the shenanigans that I need you to undertake.
Doubt is for the weak.
I think that should queue it up for next turn.
I've suffered worse.
Nice try, guy. Okay. So the good news is... so the good news is Cassia heals for 7 before she takes a toxin of 3 on her health pool that I think was like 2. She's alive. I love that. I love that. Wow, I love that. She heals at the beginning of every turn, based on how many like warp powers she has with her navigator. Okay.
Do not dare ask.
Damn. So she can't get a Voice of the Emperor. But what I can do is... how much ammo does she have in her clip? I don't remember if I reloaded or not. Yeah, let's play it the safe route and just try to stun it, because we want to stun him anyways. His willpower is already dirt low. So let's drop that to nothing. Castigating. Yeah, let's drop that to nothing. That'll also really help with his toughness stat. Drop his max health by a bit. Oh, she has a bonus action point? Oh, fuck. If I'd known that, I would have debuffed him. Crazy timing. I did reload. And she does still have the rapid fire. Bad news for you, Sir Chaos Spawn. I want to kill that guy, but I don't have a burst angle. And we just gotta start pouring firepower on this guy to drop his armor. There we go. Okay. Okay. Good turn, Cassia. Cassia commands, so Cassia runs over, unleashes rippling warp sorcery onto the Chaos Spawn that leaves it stunned in place, I believe. Oh god. No way. Wait. Bruh. The base is 30%. Okay. Well, the bad news is the Chaos Spawn is not stunned. Though her power was potent and even clipped the leader of the cultists, the beast is still thrashing. However, the order she gave to Argenta to follow up on her as she ran out and drew the beast's attention did monstrous damage to the thing. And it's now bleeding all over. Crippled. Hopefully. At this point, I'm insisting that it's crippled for my own hope more than anything else. Okay, so the Plague Bearer, his armor is dropped, and Heinrichs is no longer in the middle of my entire party. So, fuck it. Let's hit him with a Psychic Strike and hope that it doesn't summon another Plague Bearer. Party tanks up. Can I hit anybody with healing? No, not practically. Can boost their resolve a little bit. What is our resolve looking like for those members of the party? 3, 8, 10, 9. So really high, actually. Just not high enough for the demon to be counteracted, as its very presence, like, destroys our minds. Oh, this cultist is dead.
But of course.
There we go. Beautiful. She already should have forewarning. Yes, she does. Love that from me. Let's drop this guy's defensive stats back down to nothing. Adira calls out exactly where it hit on the Plague Bearer to ignore its otherworldly defenses. At the same time, she does try to blind the Chaos Spawn. We lose a little bit of momentum as some mucus leaks into our world, but I mean, mucus is not the worst thing that's leaked into our world so far this combat. Our momentum's actually back low enough we can do another Desperate Measures if we need to. But I don't think it'll be necessary, I say tentatively. Nice hit. He gets a double strike? I don't really know why. No, really, why? Oh. Yes, sir. I'm not gonna lie. I have absolutely no clue why he just took 2 attacks. Do you know who cares? Not me. Yell at it. It failed. It's not taunted. Beautiful. Oh, cool. I was so afraid it would kill Cassia and give her another wound. Beautiful. Oh my god. Abelard, in a heroic flourish, not only slams his pick through the skull of the Plague Bear demon, ending it rightly, but he charges at an eye-blurring pace down the stairs to the bottom in front of the wounded and bleeding Cassia and draws the attention of the Chaos Spawn. Abelard is the greatest character ever. What is wrong with this guy? Okay. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. He's like 300 years old. Yeah, he has access to some of the best augmetics the Imperium has to offer for a common person. But, like, he's a nobleman. But he's not the top of the noble. He doesn't have any special privileges beyond a good nobleman. All he is a ship's captain. He's an Imperial Navy officer. And he has seen 300 years of combat. And he's just that guy. He's just that fucking guy. I'm so genuinely in awe right now. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Argenta opens up because at this point, fucking nothing matters, and we are on an Emperor-given mission to purge all of these heretics. That's the last one. Can't reach him. But we can give another bonus turn to Abelard, who should be able to zoom over just far enough. Wow. And hack the Acolyte Cultist to tiny pieces before he can turn into another Chaos Spawn. Dude, don't even, like, it's not even funny, okay? Stop with the dark prayers, okay? No one is saying. Damn.
Let's see to it. But of course, Lord Captain.
Well, I guess we just passed this round. Because there's one dude still thrashing at the back of the fight that I never bothered to kill.
No can do.
She got another wound from the poison. That's annoying. Okay. Yeah, just a head trauma. Oh yeah, also Heinrichs can't move, so it's not like he's making the best effort at getting over to kill this guy. Are you kidding me?
Naturally.
His legs are broken. I'm glad that didn't summon another Plague Bear. Holy crap. Got 166 experience for that. Holy crap.
Embrace true.
Okay, everybody get back together. Rufus has a crippled leg. And Cassia got bonked on the head by the Plague Bearer. Which is bad. That's bad. But walking out of that with no other... 3 Chaos Spawns and a Plague Bearer. 3 Chaos Spawns and a Plague Bearer. That fight was supposed to be... 4 Chaos Spawns. That fight was supposed to be 1 plus 2 Chaos Spawns. And instead I got a whole extra frickin' full-powered demon. What the hell? Here, I'll have to be right back. I need to open the door for my cat. Okay. This hell run has taken longer than it was supposed to.
Beneath my feet.
even though these combats have been a lot of luck going my direction, despite what it looks like. Honestly, only summoning one Plague Bearer and an extra Chaos Spawn, it gets a lot less lucky than that in Warhammer 40,000, you know? The sun just disappeared. The system star just disappeared. You know, there's kind of that does establish an upper bound of like bad shit that could happen. I'm going to quick save. That's a good idea. I'm a smart guy. Every once in a while.
Powers unseen
What was that?
uncover my
Oh, it's just a
path.
ghost. Shut up. Okay. I think this is the real boss fight.
If we manage to find an intact shuttle in this burning hellscape, it will be a miracle sent by the God Emperor.
For a person as the Lord Captain, I am certain there will be a vessel waiting where it should be. Surely the commoners know their place in the evacuation order.
Soldiers walked into sniper fire and died before they knew where it was coming from. Okay. Thanks for the hint. Oh, hey. Bad guys. Can we pre-position this fight then? Just a little bit.
Yes?
We can at least make sure that the gang is clustered together so we're not like spread out.
The world will bow. Your existence
Yeah, there we go.
is naught but ashes. Crush them.
Okay. Oh, and we boofed the hell out of the initiative, so we're gonna have to play a real safe, slow first turn. Damn, there's no cover. And then Heinrich stays center in the formation, and Cassia has to range far. Oh, cool. She gets a good start. Oh, shit.
Vengeance will be swift.
Guys. I don't know if you see the problem here, because I am deeply concerned by the problem here, and that problem is, this isn't the boss fight. This is not the boss fight.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Okay. Okay, what is that buff that they have? Enraged Crowd. Applies Raging Woe at the level to the corresponding amount of all rebels. Increases his weapon skill and damage by +1 for every level of Raging Woe. And he can taunt people. Okay.
Let's get to it.
But they all have Raging Crowd. Of all rebels in the fight. No, they all have the name Rebel. I don't know why it's only 3. I don't fucking want to know. Because, yeah, as written, they would get about a 23 bonus damage. And some of my health pools are 23. Either way, not really a concern for me, because what I'm going to do is Cassia is going to go and open her face, and everything in that entire direction turns to mush.
Wololo.
As ever, can't land more than 2 people in the debuff. I love this pattern. I love how this pattern is just the most inconvenient thing ever.
Here we go.
Okay, they shoot him through the full cover.
Let's make it quick.
Dumbass. Okay, more fire rakes our position, but that's most of what we wanted to tank through on the first turn. I suppose a problem is sooner or later going to be the frickin' psychic wizard demon over there. Okay. Doesn't have much in the way of warp powers, other than a scream when you get close and a lamprey bite. No. This isn't a scream when you get close. This is all enemies. Well, I really don't know. I really don't know how he attacked me when in combat begun. It's a demon, and demons are weird and warpy. Yep. Final answer. So most of the rebels are keeling over like wheat under a scythe. These bruiser rebels are kind of a different story. They have 80 health apiece. And a decent dodge stat too. So before anything else, let's get
I won't object.
my basic buff down. And let's engage tanky mode. One deflection, 12 temp wounds. Restore 10 wounds. I have 2 action points to play with here. So I have a couple lines of play available. I could use Endure to gain the +1 deflection, which is a flat damage reduction. Pretty dang good against all these auto guns that I expect to take. I could heal myself, get that back in real HP, but as ever I'm risking Veil Degradation. I could use both those action points to do a big hit on this guy, but I don't know if it's super duper worth it. It's not really going to kill him. And finally, I have my strength buff that I'd really like to get on Abelard sooner rather than later. But I think with his positioning, because of where I wanted him, I think we do that. We endure, and then we just do a sword slash. Maybe I should have shotgun blasted at those guys, but whatever. Yeah, he's going to take a lot of autogun fire this turn. That +1 deflection on him will go a long way, I think. Helps if they just miss. I positioned Abelard over here because I was afraid we'd get them, clogged up on this side. But they seem to have all funneled into the main way. So that's really nice, actually. That lets me keep my fields of fire clear and lets me make sure that my melee dudes aren't spending half the battle just running back and forth. Yeah, let's not get in there too deep too fast. Let's just get this guy off of Cassia. And it's a really good time for a Brace for Impact. +2 deflection. Oh, that's what that means. I've always wondered what that means. It's just +2 deflection. Nice! Okay. Argenta... I really wish it gave me Argenta's turn before Cassia. That really sucks. Does she get a real turn beforehand? Oh, it's not going to show me because her turn's moved up to right now. Just got to gamble on this. I love that. We'll just pass. Rufus needs to move out where he has a better view of things. Cassia has to back out of melee. Come on. Dodge it. Parried it. Dodged and parried. Beautiful work. It's back to Heinrich's turn, and he doesn't have anything left to do. I got one action left, and that is a bonk. See, I'd love to set up there. That Bruiser Rebel's still in the way. Okay, this is going to be kind of funny. Do not hit Abelard. God damn it! Dude, how do you even... What? How do you... What? The worst part is I can't even complain because she also hit the Screamer all the way in the back a couple times. That's crazy. $20 momentum.
As the Emperor commands.
I can get into cover, albeit with a debuff, and take an extra shot. And if I can use that to kill somebody, that'll go a long way. 38. 65. Sorry, Rebel Gunner. Fuck. Really? Of course that missed. Ugh. I really would have liked that kill. That would have given her her buff back. Shit! Okay, Rebel Gunner with the las gun opens up and completely, oh, no. That is tragic. He got 2? Why did he get 2? Why did he get 2? Why did he had like 4 deflection. Yes, he had a 4 deflection. 47% armor. He was really frickin' tanky. That really sucks. Heinrichs just got basically removed as a character. His strength is down by 20. His weapon skill is down by 20. And his action points are dropped by +1. He's now a heal bot and buff bot. That is rough, because Heinrich single-handedly carried me through the boss the first time I did this level.
Through chaos, I stride.
He's also my healer, Singular.
One step of blood-soaked tribute.
Lame.
Ruin beckons. Target well struck.
Cool. Rufus orders Abelard. Okay. Is it something about charge? Does that always hit with both weapons now if you're dual wielding? Ramming speed? Charge distance? Yup, I have no clue. Yes, sir. Not a clue. And I'm not complaining. Cassia can move up. I don't know how that's cover or what it's cover from, but I'll take it. Argenta stays put. Rufus can get into slightly better cover so he doesn't get shot up by those gunners. And Abelard dot. It's back to Rufus's turn. Oh yeah, because Rufus gave Abelard the turn, who gave everybody else the movement.
Let's make it quick.
There's so many rebels left. Okay. Cool.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, he definitely just...
Our way.
Oh, shit.
No!
Damn!
Flashes are choking me!
Brutalized her. Solomorn! Buddy. I'm not gonna lie. You're coming in a little after when you really would have really made a difference. I think I would have cleaned this up. Okay. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? Hold on.
I saw that field of fire. I'm like, dude, you're shooting at us. Okay, the rebels continue to hit each other.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Screamer needs to go down. Let's get a forewarning on Abelard because his health is getting low. Don't have many people I can hit with the Psychic Scream, but I can take out one of those rebels, especially one that's in cover. Perfect. No one to say.
Will do. Farewell.
Nice. Oh, cool. They're getting iteratively higher Raging Woe stacks. And then let's call out some... Ooh! Actually, Adira. Check this. Not bad reduction there. There. 18% less dodge, 18% less armor. That goes a fairly long way. Yeah, no. I thank you for pushing me off the spot, asshole, but I'm going to stand here and I'm going to remove all of your souls from existence. 5 action points.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Drop his willpower. Void Curse.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
No. And open up. That is damage. The Screamer succeeded the willpower check. But it was a worthwhile blast. Cassia opens her Void Eye, finally in position to make a difference. And waves of the rebels fall into agony. The rebels now get a chance to open up with fire, but honestly, they are just cutting down their own men in the crossfire. They can't clear their shots. They're panicking while surrounded.
Let's make it quick.
And they're doing more damage to their own guys than they're doing to me. I do have to get these Bruiser rebels off our front line before we really dive in deep into the Screamer. Okay, tank up. Deflection 6. Super casually. Probably more if I hit the brace for impact. But I don't think I need to bust that second one right now. Let's try a taunt. See if we can control some of this aggro. Everybody failed the willpower check on the taunt. Well, that's frightening. Taunting Scream. Yes, sir. Okay.
An exemplary strike.
Yes, sir. I don't really know why I don't really know why he's doing that second attack. I'm not gonna lie, fam. But Abelard, although one of its hits it's parried, manages to get a solid blow on the enemy. So while Abelard is locked in melee combat with those Bruiser Rebels, our party's starting to get a little bit stretched out, but fortunately we're still in a good battle formation. Our two long ranges are in the back, our heavy gunner is in the center, and Cassia has become our brand new frontliner. I do need to line up a better shot on the Screamer though, because I need to really start doing some damage to the Screamer if I can. Oh, cool. She seems to be able to shoot through this. Yes! Craziest angle shot in the world, but I played Counter-Strike. Argenta sees the shot, maneuvers into position, and opens up with a bolter burst. One of those obnoxiously threatening bruisers is dead, and she did some solid impacts to the big demon floating around in the center of the enemy force. Bryce, get him! Wow, that was a crazy crit. One of the arbitrators, enforcers of the Lex, finally storms in, shock maul glowing, and gives one of the Bruiser Rebels a good smack. I'm close enough I can finally get some fire damage onto the Screamer of Tzeentch, and that's usually a sign that it's not going to last much longer. Ooh. Vale's getting a little wiggy. Yes, sir, we're now in the everything's going to go to hell on a whim portion of our program.
Me, if you insist.
Get fucked. Cassia continues to just like Beach of Normandy emplacement gun tears of just opening up with her third eye. We have a couple more turns from some of the rebels interspersed with our buddies, the arbitrators. The rebels opened fire and get some gun hits on the arbitrators in the back of the combat. But now the arbitrators are allowed to file into the area more properly. The Screamer of Tzeentch, between the fire on it and the taunts, seem to have not done anything. Beautiful. Solomorn commands his dog to continue rampaging through the cultists, and every single one of them with less than a certain degree of health is just summarily executed by the dog Glado. Arbitrator Clayton with the big heavy stubber. Arbitrator Clayton with the heavy stubber gun in the back gets one final rattling burst going, and the demon falls. Damn arbitrators! They took a solid quarter of my kills and even got the glory of killing the demon. You know, if this was my planet, I would censure the arbitrators. But this is a winter scale planet, technically, so. I have any other good shots? Yeah, that rebel gunner's dying. Oh, a little chilly in here, but not too bad. You're going to keep trying that attack of opportunity, dude, and you're going to keep failing it. Can't get quite close enough with Abelard. But he can try. Oh, there's a tail of a crashed dropship in the way. That makes sense. Well, either way, Abelard is going to continue racking up his kill count.
I'd rather not.
Who even can she take a pot shot at? Arbitrator Bryce is getting in there with his shock maul. And now that most of the enemy resistance is cleared, my own men can flood into the area instead of being so choked up in the back. Let's just pass. Occultist burns to death. Oh, they hit a sniper. It's kind of cute. Get him, Glido. Get him, Glido. Get him, Glido. Don't. Okay, yeah, single shot. Smart guy. I'm like, you're not going to light Arbitrator Stein's ass up, are you?
What is this foreboding?
I think this should end the combat, assuming no demons spawn. Look at that. Solomorn's chest plate is punctured in multiple places and his face is stained with blood, but he has rode to my rescue. If pain is even something the Cyber Mastiff can feel. What the hell is going on in here?
Panic and heresy.
True. He panicked and ran. You had one job, Solomorn. The rebels are one thing, but there's nothing we can do against the warp forcing its way in, and that's a fact. This battle was forced on us. Take my ship aboard. Yeah, he's gonna be more upset before the end of this. By the time I'm done with him, he's not going to be quite so peppy. Does that mean I'm gonna get this guy's help against oh man, against what's coming?
Do you require inquisitorial approval?
Since when can I just clear fresh wounds like that? That's cool. Okay, taking a moment to use our Biomancer Psyker to patch up some of the more surface level wounds, although Heinrich's is still just short of out of commission. This landing pad is a fucking bust. This entire starport is a fucking bust. Half my party's a fucking bust. Honestly, we could be in a lot worse shape. Saint's blood that put holes in me. Squad, Bryce, Stein, Clayton, so he has Shockmaul and Shield. I think Bryce had a two-handed Shockmaul. The heavy gunner, and then Solomon himself is a shield and a shotgun revolver.
The world trembles
Okay.
my feet.
How much further do we have to go? Shit, dog. I was really hoping you guys would have like a Medicaid station or Medicaid dispenser or something back here, but no. Nope. just a guard who's bleeding out. Yeah, that unfortunately is what I expected from these guys. Okay. The arbitrators aren't following. Yeah, go ahead, autosave. Fuck. The stench of thylacine and blood blankets the starport. Echoes of shouts and gunfire drift over the landing pads. The shards of plexiglass crunch underfoot. You recognize Sergeant Malgar amid the crowd huddled next to the soldiers. Shuttles. He was the soldier who greeted you upon your arrival on Rykad Minoris. A group of bloodied and frightened people is wedged between Malgar's wardens and... Oh, here. Hit the shuttles. You recognize them as the traitorous, pathetic, stealing governor. Some of the nobles are paralyzed with fear. Others have succumbed to despair. 2 corpses are lying on the ground with their arms outstretched. Black blood is pooled under one. The other's skull has been split open like a nut. Governor, what the hell is doing? Oh, shit. Based. Uh-oh. Did I shake his faith in the foundations of the Imperium? Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. These enforcers might have gone a little bit sour. An angry murmur runs through the group of nobles. But none dare to raise their voice. It would seem you intend to rise up. You want to kill all these noblemen? Eh. Yeah, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay. Minutemen rebels. Makes these guys different. Oh, the fact that they're so pathetically under-equipped. Wow, they're just chaff. Emphasis on the Minuteman. They do have a gunner up above with a sniper rifle and some basic operator abilities. But otherwise, he's just going to take pot shots and fish for crits. 8 enemies total. 1 leader, 6 rebels, and Aurora. Aurora. A Chaos Space Marine Devastator equipment loadout of the Word Bearers Legion. When being attacked, he reacts. He always aims at a marked focus. All negative effects on him are downgraded, and he's immune to falling prone. Whenever Perils of the Warp is triggered, he gains an extra turn. And did I mention he's wielding a heavy bolter? Okay, let's put Cassia over where she can wipe out the Minutemen with a cone. Heinrichs needs to be semi-second line because he's so fucked up. He needs some time to cast his buffs more than to rush into combat. Adira needs to go way back so she can kind of draw some aggro away from the rest of the party. And Argenta is going to be shooting the fuck out of Aurora. If he goes first. Okay. He always positions to get the longest possible arc on us. Bro. Okay, well. That's untenable. I think I just lost the fight.
Brace yourself, Abelard. Hold on.
Abelard.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
6 deflection and 60% armor. Base damage 14. Drop down to 5. Well, I should think that anybody who didn't know why I've been geeking the entire stream up till now should realize in quick order how absolutely fucked I am. Succeeded it, so he's only blinded, not sensory ruined.
Anything else?
Enjoy some dodge, Argenta. I feel like you'll need it. Oh, shit. Okay. Adira tried to cast a spell. First thing first, her head exploded. Warp Blast. Then Aurora capitalized on it and tore her to very tiny little pieces.
Purpose guides me.
Okay. If I might have a request, Sir Aurora, it's simply please don't kill me in one turn. Well, that was an impolite and improper way to fulfill the request. Okay. We have about reached the intended duration of our video today, and that was about where I expected it to end. I'm not going to lie, this is the boss of Act 1 of Rogue Trader. I think no matter what, I get no help for this fight. Malgar always gets his shit clocked by the exploding gunship. I can't skip this. Yeah, so I think a big part of the challenge is to array your guys in a way such that he can't line up an easy shot on everybody. Also, aren't allowed to start with any cover at all. One thing that helps is like confining his movement. Because he is 2x2. No, it's a line. Okay. Hey, we run. Oh, we did not roll the initiative. Cool, but that's funny. Okay, one shots him. Fuck. Charges. Fuck.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Yeah, worthy deaths indeed. I don't really know what Zeal does, I'm not gonna lie. Good friends, I think I am good fucked. Hey, that did some work.
If I may.
Let's get to it.
Jesus. He broke her ribs with that shot. Okay, new plan. Do not immediately Perils of the War. He failed the test, and that ruined his chances to hit. Wow. Base value 65. He now has a weapon skill of 10. Oh, buddy. Don't. Okay.
Out of my way. More blood,
Are you fucking kidding me?
more suffering.
Can I just... Oh, her dodge chances dropped down to nothing. Oh, that's really bad. She's in fact my main primary hope of victory. So, I don't know why he puts away his gun after the first turn, it seems. Heals him on a hit. Blood Rage. Yeah, no clue. But
One step.
I can't complain because his gun kills 3 people in one shot, and by himself, he's more like he usually only kills 1 people a turn.
This is beneath me.
Hopefully. Usually.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
If we could cheese our way into a heroic act, that also would, uh-oh. Please. Yeah.
To be a martyr.
Hold on.
Please! I'm at the point where I'm begging.
Will do. Anything else?
Wow, that was a solid hit. Bro, what are you doing? That's not gonna hit. Safer to use the warp power.
Purpose guides me. I need no guidance.
Nice. Oh, okay. Charges in, kicks me to death.
Here we go.
Okay. Theoretically, if we can just, like, not die, he'll burn to death eventually. Not that forewarnings saved anybody yet, but
Was that you? Or
Let's get to it.
hey, hold on. He's not super moting, is he? Oh, jeez. The next batch just showed up.
Hold on. Let's get to it. Here we go.
can I
Oh, come on. That's not fair. No way! She's gonna die by stepping away, and he's not gonna burn to death. Come on. Well, yeah, that was a fun VOD. We'll do this again sometime.